Council meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 in Cayce City Hall chambers. The press and public have been notified according to the Freedom of Information Act.
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Who has our invocation this evening?
I do.
Thank you, Councilwoman O.
All right. Please pray with me if you will. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day and for the opportunity to gather this evening as council and community members. We are truly honored to serve the wonderful city of Cayce. Please be with us tonight as we work together to make a positive difference in our community. Grant us wisdom, unity, and compassion in the decisions we make. Watch over our city employees, their families, and our entire community. Keep us safe from harm and danger, and guide us in all that we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a request for the approval of minutes from the February 3rd regular council meeting.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you.
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. We have public comment regarding items on the agenda.
Mayor, we have two people signed up. Are y'all? First, Mr. Joseph McDougall, item 5D.
Good evening, you all. So my name is Joseph McDougall. I am one of the co-owners of Hidden City Music Festival. I'm an attorney here in the Midlands. Mindy's my cousin, just throwing that out there. But, before we get into why we want a firework exception, just because that is the pinnacle of any event when you put on an event, I just want to give some key data points about how we've performed and what we've brought to the city over the past few years. I do want to preface this, that we are not involved with any event at the Speedway outside of the Hidden City Music Festival. So any other concert there, that was not us, just Hidden City. That being said, this will be our fourth year hosting, and we've been in operation since 2022. Over the 3 years we've had the festival, we've had 13,000 total attendees. Of that, only 7% are 18 to 21. 61% are 22 to 29, and over 32% are over the age of 30. That's a very strong professional working age audience that's not college focused at this event. Our geographic reach is over 46 United States. We are also represented by 5 different countries. We've had attendees from Spain, Australia, the United Kingdom, Mexico, and Canada. 60% of those attendees are from South Carolina, with 35% of those being from the Midlands. 40% of that is out of state, with 20% being from North Carolina, 10 from Georgia, and 10 from other states. We have over 1,187 unique zip codes from our purchasers, and 50% of those are traveling more than 90 minutes to be here. If you take in those numbers, Past Lodging with 6,500 attendees are looking, so 50% of the 1,200 visitors are looking for a place to stay. That's over, if you project for the 2026, we're thinking about 4,000 attendees per day. That's about 2,000 people that need hotel rooms. I mean, that's almost $150,000 to $250,000 in revenue for hotels around here. That's additional spend for restaurants, bars, gas, ride shares, retail, everything that's not in this estimate. That's 40% of out-of-state people that are bringing external revenue into the city. Our community participation, 1 in 10 Cayce residents, give or take, attended or participated, to include local vendors, staff, volunteers, local partnerships and sponsors, and a strong repeated attendance. So that was just a quick overview of our data points, and those people who have been coming to this are now accustomed to fireworks being at the festival, and we just ask that we have another exception from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDougall.
Next is Mr. Shelby Judd, item 5D.
Mayor, City Council members, thank you for taking the time to hear me speak. I just wanted to piggyback on what my business partner talked about and give a little bit of facts. You guys should have a one-pager that kind of talks about the whole thing that we're doing with the fireworks. And I just wanted to kind of point out some things. The big thing is Friday, we only plan on doing close proximity fireworks. Those usually don't go over 150 feet in the air, and they're about 85 to 90 dB. So by the time they get to the property line, people in the surrounding area are not going to hear the actual pop from those. They might be able to see the shimmer from them going up in the sky, but they're not going to get that loud bang that you associate with a 4th of July fireworks. What we are asking as part of this is on the second day, as a finale to the 2-day festival, is at 10:30, we do a no longer than 2-minute fireworks show, which will incorporate what we call Class A fireworks. Those are very loud at the source. However, they go up over 500 feet. And as you can see on your sheet there, basically by the time that they get near 500 feet away from the property, they've actually dissipated down to 80 to 95 dB. So you will get the pop, it will be there, but one, it's short-termed, and by the time it actually hits these residents, it's pretty mitigated. The other thing I want to just tag on with this, as far as the festival in general, is we are employing a new sound mitigation where we're actually angling the stage at the Speedway here to try to direct the sound away from residents and towards the commercial areas where ideally people at that time would not be affected. This is additionally along with a hotline for people to call, and additionally we'll have people roaming through the city of known loud points with decibel readers that will read back to us if at any time the base, which we understand is usually the main concern, at any time if those ratings get over against what we've agreed with the city managers and police, then we will go ahead and adjust the sound volume to try to be the best stewards of the community. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Judd. Next, we have a presentation by Gavin Brown regarding Transitions Homeless Center.
Thank you, Mayor. As she said, my name is Gavin Brown. I'm Vice President of Advancement for Transitions Homeless Center. By a show of hands, who here on council knows something about Transitions? Okay. Did you know that we serve Lexington County and specifically Cayce? So we have a physical location in downtown Columbia, right off of Main Street, but we do serve 13 counties of the state of South Carolina, from York all the way to Aiken. That's a pretty big geographic area. Our shelter is a 260-bed shelter. It is the largest comprehensive shelter in the Midlands. We do partner with other homeless service providers. And one thing that I want you to take away when you look at Transitions is the number of services provided there. It happens because of 50 or more different community partners that come in and out of our facility every day serving the unhoused. If you were to go and look at the point-in-time count for the last year in 2025 in the Midlands, the majority of the unhoused residents were counted in Richland County. They are not counted in Lexington or in the outlying areas like Newberry. But we do know, and I think you would all agree, if you look and see the last year, you had a point-in-time count of 32 residents in Lexington. This is not in your report. I'll have to send this later. But you had a count of 32 unhoused people in Lexington County. We know that there's more than that. And so what we are aiming to do, and the reason why I'm here, is one, we ask that Cayce continue to law enforcement or any school social workers you're seeing, we are there and available to offer that expertise. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Questions for Gavin?
Gavin, could you clarify regarding Lexington County, the municipalities that have constantly supported y'all over the years?
The town of Lexington does some ESG support. I can go back and look at other municipalities. Transitions is 15 years old, so there was some money at the beginning. But Cayce has been one that's been the most consistent, other than the town of Lexington. And it's all about how, especially when we look at the town and the county, and full disclosure, I do not handle government grants. So we can get more, we can present a report that shows where those monies come from. But a lot of it comes through ESG grants from the county and from the town.
No, I just love that.
Yeah.
Our city has been the most consistent, and I just would just ask
Yeah.
council and Mike, when budget season does come around, that we consider getting back in the game, because I know we do have homeless in Cayce, and we want to make sure that they're taken care of, and we know Transitions does an amazing job with your homeless program. So just thank you so much for all that y'all do in our community.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that you all know that we're a resource available to you. It's, if nothing else, just to do community education. I think that it's a, in the 3.5 years that I've worked for Transitions, the one thing I say, it's a really misunderstood problem. And there's also a flurry of opinions. I will say that on the record. There's a flurry of opinions about how we should treat it. But you have someone standing here that believes that we have the most cost-effective programming in the area. And we have staff that are truly dedicated to ending this problem, and they're available to each of you to help you do your jobs better.
I'd like to just point out, Gavin shared, there's 260 total shelter beds there, but 58 of those are dedicated for veterans.
Yes.
What does that say? Those who have served us and protected our freedoms sometimes end up unhoused. And I'm thankful that you're there and
Right.
thankful for everything that you do. One other note about Gavin, he might look familiar to some of you. He is the son of Steve Brown, who was our interim city manager twice throughout my tenure, was a retired city manager from Greenwood, and was an absolute blessing to our city. And he always said if he was a younger man, he would have come and just worked here.
We're thankful that he didn't, because I moved. No, yeah, I've shared with the mayor before. My dad spoke highly of Cayce, and I love this. I feel like a part of us is here, but you have such a unique place. And I'm not just saying that because I'm up here asking for you to support us, but it's a unique place. And he saw that, and for a seasoned city manager like he was, to see the amount of opportunity y'all have here, and y'all are doing some great stuff. So keep doing that.
Thank you.
Thank
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Gavin. Next, we have consideration and approval of a proclamation recognizing International Women Leaders in Business Day. Would council prefer me to read it first before approval, or do you want to go ahead and approve it and then I'll read it? Preference?
Yeah, that's fine.
Which one? Was
Read it.
either or?
Oh, yeah, go ahead and
Okay,
read it.
I'll
Yeah,
read it.
go ahead and
All right. So, City of Cayce International Women Leaders in Business Day Proclamation. Whereas International Women's Day is a global observance celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, while also serving as a call to action to accelerate gender parity worldwide. And whereas communities across the globe unite to recognize women's contributions and advocate for equality, opportunity, and inclusive economic growth. And whereas women-owned businesses represent a vital force in the United States economy, totaling approximately 14.2 million firms and generating an estimated $2.8 trillion in annual revenue, while contributing significantly to job creation, innovation, and economic vitality nationwide. And whereas the ownership of women-led businesses reflects increasing diversity across racial and ethnic groups, with the majority led by white women and a growing presence of Asian, Hispanic, Black, or African American and other women entrepreneurs, demonstrating meaningful progress while underscoring the continued importance of expanding equitable access, representation, and opportunity in business ownership. And whereas the City of Cayce is committed to fostering economic development, supporting minority and women-owned businesses, and encouraging future generations of women leaders to establish and grow businesses within the community. And whereas the City of Cayce proudly recognizes and celebrates the achievements of international women leaders in business and supports events and activities held throughout the month of March, I will now take a vote and then I will finish the proclamation. Is there a motion?
No, motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? I'll call the question.
Councilmember All?
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas?
Yes.
Councilmember Rose?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, thank you so much. So moved. Now therefore, I, Elise Parton, Mayor of the City of Cayce, and on behalf of council, do hereby proclaim March 18th, 2026 as International Women Leaders in Business Day in the City of Cayce, and encourage all citizens to join in celebrating the impact, leadership, and contributions of women entrepreneurs and business leaders. Next, we have discussion and approval to amend the March 18th, 2026 council meeting date.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, we do have a scheduled workshop for March 18th, so it is still on the schedule, and it will be a scheduled meeting, but we did want to make sure that we announce that to our citizens that there will be a workshop instead of a regular scheduled meeting on March 18th. Is there anything else we wanted to?
Just want to thank you, Mayor and members. There may be an opportunity to add some business to that day. This will be a normal opportunity where we can use FOIA so if we have an opportunity to advance some of our economic development initiatives and make some announcements, we'll want to possibly be able to do that day with y'all's decision. And so we'll just reserve the right to add that to the notice in due course prior to the meeting.
Thank you. So we'll have, we're starting in the morning with the council workshop. It'll go all day long.
Yes, ma'am.
And then maybe business meeting at the end of the day.
That is what we're planning, yes, ma'am, and we'll post it as scheduled.
Okay, so if
It'll
it's
get
a
notice to the public.
Wednesday meeting, it'll probably go out that Friday before, so everybody will have notice about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. We don't need to take any action on that, do we? Okay. Discussion and acceptance of a bid from McClam and Associates for Lexington Avenue Sewer Line Rehabilitation Project.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor and City Council. Approval is needed to accept the low bid from McClam and Associates in the amount of $441,220 for the Lexington Avenue Sewer Line Rehabilitation Project, and to authorize the city manager to negotiate the contract. The city was awarded $273,642 of a community development block grant from Lexington County in 2024 to rehabilitate aging sewer infrastructure along Lexington Avenue and First Street. Utility staff are handling the engineering, bidding, and the construction oversight in-house to reduce the cost. Due to further deterioration of the existing concrete sewer lines after the grant application was submitted, the rehabilitation method was changed from cured in-place lining pipe to pipe bursting, which did unfortunately increase the total cost at the time. The project now includes pipe bursting, manhole rehabilitation, and service lateral replacements with clean-outs for residential connections. McClam and Associates submitted the lowest bid at $441,220. There was a second bid from Hinterland Group, which was $473,850. After applying the $273,642 grant, the city will share will be $163,578, not to exceed $211,700 with that 10% construction contingency applied to it. The city's portion will be funded through the Water Sewer Capacity Reserve Fund.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the staff recommendation?
Motion for the staff recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. And just to clarify, that includes council approving acceptance of the bid from McClam and Associates in the amount of $441,220 plus a 10% construction contingency, and also to authorize the city manager to execute the contract. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Michael, I'm sorry. My memory failed me. Didn't we just do something on Lexington Avenue?
We did an emergency sewer line replacement, yes, sir. And that's what, when we originally applied several years ago or a year or so ago for the community block grant, it was for part of the portion that collapsed, that we went in there and had to do an emergency replacement right there on First Street on Lexington Avenue. This goes.
So we're gonna sleeve basically what we did wrong, basically saying I'm wrong.
No, we're just doing, so it went from manhole to manhole. This will go from another manhole to another manhole.
Oh, okay, so in addition, up a piece. I'm good, thank you. Straighten me out, Betsy. Thank you, Michael, thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. Next, we have discussion and approval of utilities advanced metering infrastructure meter requests.
Mayor and council, approval is needed to waive the formal bid process and sole source the installation of an advanced metering infrastructure system for approximately 320 customers in an in-city neighborhood, and to authorize the city manager to negotiate the contract. The FY22 utility budget included funding to begin transitioning from a current drive-by, which is an AMR meter reading system, to an AMI system, and areas not included in the 2017 meter replacement project. The city uses Itron equipment supplied and supported by United Systems and Software, the sole source provider for Itron in South Carolina and the surrounding states. The USS also has extensive experience installing the Itron cellular endpoints, meters, and boxes, which is very important to our staff. The project will replace approximately 320 meters from the cellular capable endpoints and upgrading existing metal boxes to a more durable polypropylene box with high-density HDPE lids, which protects them to improve drainage and signal performance. Because USS is the sole source provider and installer of the Itron equipment in the region, staff recommends using USS to ensure proper installation and quality control. The estimated installation cost is $45,120 and not to exceed $49,632 with a 10% construction contingency. Funding is available in the FY22 utility O&M budget. Staff recommends council waive the formal bid process and approve the contract with USS and authorize the city manager to negotiate that contract.
Is there a motion for the staff recommendation?
Motion for the staff recommendation.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Michael, when we add these 320 to what we did in city-wise in 17, where do we stand with, give or take?
I'm not sure I know the answer to that question, to be honest with you. I can get that answer to you.
Just get it to him, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other discussion? I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. Next, we have discussion and consideration of fireworks exemption request for Hidden City Music Festival.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Council's approval is needed to grant the Hidden City Music Festival an exemption to the city's firework ordinance to allow a fireworks display during their event and of the two-a-day event on April 17th and 18th at the historic Columbia Speedway. City ordinance prohibits the discharge of fireworks within the city limits unless approved by council in conjunction with a permitted special event. The festival is seeking approval from the ordinance exception that allows fireworks as part of the special event. The event is scheduled from 2 p.m. to approximately 10:30 p.m., and organizers are also requesting a noise waiver until 10:45, which is through the city manager's office. While staff has previously granted a noise exception to 10:30 to align with an approved state fireworks permit. The festival has not yet received its required state fire marshal permitting for this year, but their application is in their office. Staff recommends that council is inclined to approve the fireworks exemption if it's granted conditionally upon the receipt of the required special the state fire marshal permit, and that the council specifies the permitted hours for the fireworks display. Because I will align my noise variance with whatever council places on the time limit for the fireworks, if they so inclined.
Thank you. Is there a motion from council?
I make a motion
for-
to waive until 10:45 PM.
Second.
Is there discussion?
Yes, ma'am, Mayor. I do, out of respect to, my constituents, and I believe Alice's constituents is the closest, but mine is right there, close to the Speedway, just to discuss the noise, because I know we do get a lot of complaints. And so I just want to respectfully just discuss it amongst fellow council people and the mayor, just out of respect to them. So I would suggest 10 p.m., especially with it being a two-day festival as well. Because I know there's a lot of dogs, a lot of veterans in the area that do complain about the loud noise. And I do just want to just consider their voices for this matter. So I just want to just openly discuss it with everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't have any issues with the fireworks, but going past 10 o'clock does give me pause.
Yeah, I agree. We get complaints on the 2 days a year that we do allow fireworks, which is July 4th and New Year's Eve. And those are just people in their neighborhoods, and we get, complaints as soon as it hits the end of the window when they can do it. It is a tough site for concerts. We've tried, we had a whole outfitter come out of New England and bring concerts down here, and they had the whole line array speakers and try. And I think, Phil, you got a whole lot of complaints from, people that would hear it in Moss Creek.
Yeah, I've enjoyed some nice concerts from my chair.
At home
But that was that crowd, that post-COVID.
from New England,
You get a little square and screaming all the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if it's at 10 or 10:45, you're still gonna get complaints.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I agree. Dogs and veterans are usually where we have the most concerns about fireworks and some of the noise. But right now, the motion on the table is for 10:45, so, go ahead.
I was going to say, is it for the 10:45, or is it just for the fireworks?
And on here, it says it's gonna end at 10:32 on the paper that was given to us.
Right, the motion before you is for a fireworks exemption that they are proposing would end at 10:30-ish. And I think they're asking for 10:45, a little bit of leeway, but the motion is for the fireworks. The noise exemption is through the CM's office.
Right.
And I'll take that up after council has made their decision.
So in that case, I make a motion to have the fireworks and not give a time. Is that correct? Okay, I make a motion for the fireworks.
I mean, you can do a time. I asked there is a time applied to it, because I will, again, piggyback on what your exemption is applied to the noise ordinance. So whatever, if you give it at 10:30 or 10:45, I will probably follow suit with the noise variance to end at that time that you said yours. I don't want it to go earlier and they do fireworks at 10:50 or 10:47, and I told them that they couldn't have noise after 10:30.
Okay, out of respect for the community, I will say fireworks, make a motion for fireworks until 10 p.m.
Second.
Okay, so we're
Wait,
amending,
you'll have to
so no, it's okay.
Oh, is
So,
it? Okay.
so she made the original motion, but who made the original second? Who was that amending?
Phil.
Oh, Phil. Are you okay to amend the original motion?
Not yet, until I get a couple of question and answers, Mayor.
Okay.
Oh, historical perspective. Our noise ordinance PM time is 10. Now, we amended it for that crowd that you just mentioned. Didn't we push
I
it
don't know if
to?
we did.
10:30 or 11,
I don't know
and
that
then
we did.
pulled it back?
You're talking about the post-COVID cap, sir?
Yes.
I don't know if I know what that,
Yeah, I don't,
if there was an ordinance. I would have to go back and look. I couldn't answer that question for you, unfortunately.
why, does that lead you somewhere? Or?
Well, it's not unprecedented. Did we go from 9 to 10 and back to 9, or did we go 10 to 11 and back to 10? I do not recall, but I do
I would
really feel
say,
comfortable
if I
that we
remember
made an
correctly.
amendment for them guys.
Yes, sir. When this same concert was a one-night concert done several years ago, we did give them an exemption until 10:30, if I remember correctly. But that was one-day events.
When does the noise ordinance go into effect, at what time?
My understanding is 10 p.m. I should have done a little bit more research on that, but,
Okay,
and they've always asked for the extension to follow that.
okay.
Okay, then I will amend my second as far as that question goes.
All right, so then the motion would be
I think.
for any fireworks and noise can be until 10,
Until 10 PM.
and that is based on, conditionally on receiving a permit from the state fire marshal. And then you have a second to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any discussion on that?
I just would like to add that this council, we need to recognize, look, Mayor, you did mention this is a difficult location for things like this, but it is an event venue. And we certainly tout, people coming to Cayce to spend money. We've made exceptions before, and, again, it's an event venue, and, unfortunately, it is where it is, and being around here a long time, I experienced the speedway noise, and so.
I do
I
think
say
we need
let
to
the
be
kids have fun,
consistent.
certainly, but I understand. So, that's all excuse me, I'm called for 3 months. I'm done, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion?
I do think, along with what Phil said, I do think that once we do this, we need to be consistent across the board from here on out, because this is an event venue.
Okay, I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter,
No.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. Next, we have discussion and approval of ordinance 2026-03, amending the zoning map and rezoning property located at 1511 Middle Street. This is tax map number 5764-01-013 from C3 to RG2. This is the first reading.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Council approval is needed for the first reading of an ordinance to rezone property 1511 Middle Street, tax map 005764-01-013, from C3, which is central commercial, to RG2, which is general residential, to the request of the Habitat for Humanity. Excuse me. The rezoning will allow construction of a single-family home on the lot. The current C3 designation is intended for commercial corridors such as Knox Abbott Drive and State Street. This is not compatible with the characteristics of the property or the surrounding residential area. The RG2 district supports residential development and aligns more appropriately with the existing neighborhood uses. So the property is designated as central business residential in the future land use map, and the proposed RG2 is considered a compatible alternative. Staff notes that similar zoning inconsistencies across the city will be addressed through zoning amendments and the completion of our UDO, which is taking place right this particular moment. Staff finds the request consistent with the comprehensive plan, and the Planning Commission unanimously recommends approval of the rezoning request.
Thank you. Is there a motion to rezone the property from C3 to RG2?
Motion to rezone the property from C3 to RG2.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Mike, you said this property is owned by Habitat for Humanity?
That is correct, sir.
Well, I just want to thank them for once again investing in our city and making houses affordable for those that are dreaming to own a house. And for all those that do own a house out there, you know that excitement, you know that joy of ownership. And we know the current climate that we're in. You know, people are celebrating that the interest rates have gone down below 6%. So we know the excitement it is to have the opportunity to own a house, especially in Cayce, South Carolina. So I just want to thank Habitat for Humanity for continuing to invest in the city of Cayce.
Thank you. I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. You have before you a request for approval to enter the following committee-approved minutes into the city's record. You have the Zoning Board of Appeals from December 15th, 2025, Planning Commission from December 15th, 2025, and the Museum and Historical Commission from January 5th, 2026.
Motion to approve all of them, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. We have the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick things. First of all, our final pop-up jazz event is coming up this Sunday at the Art Lot, 5 to 7. Hope everybody can come out. The last several have been amazing. Even when it was cold, there's still great music. So come out and visit and experience the last one this upcoming Sunday. And again, thanks Central Carolina Community Foundation. I can never say it correctly. I apologize. And Call It Jazz for this amazing opportunity. Just a couple announcements. Beyond that, first and foremost, I want to recognize a new member to our team. We've just recently hired Johnny Dillard to be our Public Works Director. Mr. Dillard. He's from Murphy, North Carolina, a small town up in the far west corner of North Carolina. He joined the U.S. Navy right out of high school after turning down a free ride to Western North Carolina. I know you don't never regret that, do you, sir? During his 20-year career, he was awarded 2 Navy Achievement Medals, 3 Navy Accommodation Medals, numerous Desert Storm Award medals, and 6 deployments abroad on several aircraft carriers. After completing the Navy career, Johnny started a small business in landscaping, which he sold after owning it for 12 years. Went on to become the grounds manager for the main campus at Georgia College and State University in Georgia, and subsequently found a position that would suit him a little bit better on upward mobility, and went on to the town of Lexington just down the street, and as the Assistant Director of Parks and Sanitation. Johnny graduated from Tidewater Community College with a degree in horticulture in 2001, and it was the same year he retired from the Navy. He went on to further educate in taking horticulture classes at Georgia, as well as environmental classes at Georgia College and State University. He's currently a certified arborist with tree risk assessment qualifications, black flow qualifications, turf grass manager certified, pesticide application license, as well as a certified horticultural professional. He also serves on the board of directors for the SC Green Association. So please welcome Johnny Dillard to our team. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, welcome.
And last but not least, a kudos to our meter techs and a wonderful utility team that we have. A citizen was kind enough to write into us and let us know the amazing opportunity and the amazing experience they had with us. I'll just read it real quickly. This individual is a volunteer at the All Saints Church in Cayce. He had the need to call the water department at the time, about a concern over a sewer at the church. He said he was extremely happy to report that he received excellent service from Robert. And when he took my initial call this morning, and I later received a follow-up call from a meter tech, and the technician who handled the service call. Both of these gentlemen deserve to be recognized for their professional conduct, their work effort, and most importantly, doing their job with a smile on their face. And he just wanted to let everybody know the high standards in which Cayce has. So thank you, sir, for reaching out to us, and of course, thank our team for doing great work. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I just gotta say something, Mayor. First, Johnny, thank you so much for your service. That is an amazing resume. So just thank you so much for your service to our beautiful country and for choosing to serve the city of Cayce now. So kudos. I really appreciate that. So Cayce Elementary School will be hosting a community partner breakfast on March 31st at 7:30 a.m. This event is their way of saying thank you to the many community partners who support them through their students and educators throughout the year. If you would like to attend, please RSVP by emailing acorridor@lexitude.org. And let me spell it because I don't want to botch names. So it's ACAULDER@lexitude.org. There will also be a wonderful student leadership program at 8:30. So I just challenge the community, businesses or any organization, please let's support our Lexitude partners and support these kids and educators. James Smith, may I please call you to the podium because I just have a couple questions about our awesome meeting we had this past week.
Absolutely, Councilman.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, could you update our community on the progress with our African American cemeteries?
Yes, thank you very much, Councilman Thomas. And I really appreciate this opportunity, Mayor and members, to share a little bit. A lot of work was really already done by the city staff, by y'all's leadership previously, in doing the survey of the cemeteries that are in the city. And it's a tremendous amount of work that was done. And so based upon all that work that was previously done, I have been working with Councilman Thomas and others to put together a plan for what we would consider to be a community-based cemetery access and preservation initiative. And it's based upon South Carolina State Code, which provides protection and access for family members and descendants of persons who might be buried there, plot owners, individual participation in lawful burials, and persons conducting genealogical research. So they should be able to have access to their ancestors where they might lie. But what we want to see is that preservation. And we want to build a community-based plan to participate that. So Councilman Thomas and I have been looking at ways to do that through leveraging a couple of resources, not just the state law that allows for access, but also the resources that you all have provided through the Community Toolbox, which I think is a fantastic resource. We've already completed the mapping that's been needed to get that started. We're reaching out to do some partnership with heirs property so that if there is a question of ownership, we can enlist their expertise in trying to resolve and clearing title to that. And in the end, there are a number of grant opportunities that we want to coordinate and support, whether it be with the Department of Archives, there's some community development funds, private foundations, but working with community groups for in-kind support to help clear. And what this will do, benefits for our beautiful city. It certainly honors the descendants' rights under state law so that they can access their ancestors. It preserves African-American and early Cayce heritage, which we know is so important. It reduces legal disputes over cemetery access, which we want to help support resolve. Promotes community and reconciliation and stewardship. Strengthens heirs' property stability and enhances historical tourism and civic pride. So we're going to put together a program, bring it to you all for your review and approval, and then work together to take this out to our community to see what engagement we can get together. So, thank you.
Thank you, James. And so Mike, whenever, as James continues to work on this, it would be nice because I know I've had a lot of constituents that definitely want to clean up that property whenever the legal stuff gets,
Which property?
The property next to City Hall.
So we're talking about one of the
We're
cemeteries?
talking about one as of right now. That's the one me and James, the Earl Cemetery, right down the right on our property.
We're going to build a citywide initiative based upon what has already been done, which was focused citywide. But we're going to begin with some of those that are of primary interest, but it'll be built for the entire city to engage with.
Well, and I know our former Mayor Pro Tem Skip Jenkins had worked very hard to move the railroad. Right next to Steel Hands.
Foreman Street
Yeah,
property, the former.
What's the railroad? Seaboard.
that's right,
Yeah,
Seaboard.
Was it
Southern,
yes.
or Seaboard.
No, I think it was
whatever.
Seaboard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Seaboard Cemetery. There was a lot of his descendants that are buried there, but, you know, people that worked on the Seaboard Cemetery were buried there. And I know that Mayor Pro Tem and some of our former council members had really committed to Skip that was going to be a focus and a priority. So, yeah, that's
Well-
awesome.
Well, hey, the more the merrier. My biggest thing is making sure that we get citizens back on those sites so that they can pay their respects, but also making sure we properly have it cleaned up, because I know they will want that to look nice and neat. And like James said, I educated James that we have an amazing community tool shed that hopefully our citizens really utilize as it's starting to get warm now. So hopefully, you know, Mike, as y'all work to continue this, whenever it's go time, we can use that tool shed. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of community members that want to come out to help clean up the property, so then things can be nice and neat for residents to be able to pay their respects. And it just shows our commitment to finishing the job, because sadly there are communities out there where there's still a lot of questions and they're not fighting for their people. But we want to make sure we show in the city of Cayce, when we start a project, we finish it, and we're going to fight for our people. So James, you are a rock star, and I just appreciate everyone that's worked on this from the past to the present. So I'm just very excited about this. And then next, I was at a National League of Cities conference last month, and one thing that they really educated us on was Opportunity Zones 2.0. Currently, we're in Opportunity Zone 1.0, and it was championed by our very own state senator, Senator Tim Scott. But that funding is about to run out. And Mike, you are an amazing genius. Can you just educate our public on what an Opportunity Zone is?
I'll do my best. Opportunity Zones, again, was a federal program that Senator Tim Scott helped create. And it's basically an economic development tool to try to reinvest into certain areas in cities. And I think it was approved by governors. Governors had to approve certain sites, or the governor had to approve sites. And as you mentioned, 1.0 was done approximately 10 years ago.
Yes, sir.
It's running out that 10-year program. And it was basically an opportunity for individuals to be able to invest dollars into developments that were taking place within those prescribed areas in a way to help get around some of the capital gains tax that some people may have. And that's really an intent, and our James knows a lot more than I do about those particular.
You want to dive in on that, James?
Sure, I mean, but, sir, you got it right, and I'll just add a couple of things, Mayor and members. This is really a wonderful opportunity. I know everybody has worked a little bit in this area, and opportunity zones are often packaged with, historic tax credits or abandoned buildings revitalization efforts, but it will protect for 10 years. You hold on it for 10 years, and then the capital gains that you realize during that period, that the owner realizes, those are protected, and you get a new basis of the value. So it's a really powerful resource, and I wanted to just share, doing some of the research currently under point 10, we have areas in the Knox Abbott corridor, the State Street corridor, the riverfront, Riverwalk areas, and a variety of commercial and redevelopment areas. And you can go to just www.scopportunityzones.com and put in an address, and it'll tell you whether or not it was currently in an existing zone or not. What I'm looking forward to working with all of you is to, as the governor evaluates where to identify the new tracks, that we make the case collectively for our beautiful city, that we maximize the opportunities there. So for each of you in your own districts, as you think of areas that might benefit from that type of designation, and we can work together on what the criteria is, we'll make the case collectively to the governor to include as much of Cayce in the new version of this to attract that private investment.
Yes, sir. And I just want to thank Luke because I know our city's done a great job with the Choose Cayce website. And to my knowledge, opportunity zones are on the website. So I want to thank Mike, you and Luke for working hard on that and any other staffers. So what James said is very important here. We're about to move into Opportunity Zones 2.0. So the Treasury Department's about to send our governor a list of all the eligible cities that can be a part of Opportunity Zones 2.0. If the governor can select up to 25% of cities on that list, that's 25%, and to my knowledge, there's over 100 sites that can be eligible. It's very important that our citizens call, send a letter to the governor's office saying, please keep the city of Cayce on that list. Because if we are not on that list for the next 10 years, there's no opportunity zones in the city of Cayce. So we want to be on that list so then people can invest in our city to help improve our quality of life. So I really challenge everyone to reach out to the governor's office, your state senator, anyone that you know that has a relationship with the governor to say, hey, please consider keeping the city of Cayce on that list, because once January 1st, 2027 starts, that's when Opportunity Zones 2.0 begins. So it's very important that we stay on that list for amazing opportunities that can help our city grow. So, James Smith, I appreciate you answering those. And I just have one more thing, Mayor. So the newly appointed Public Works Chairman Todd Cockrell informed me today that the resurfacing on Lee Street is complete. So I just want to thank again our Planning Commission for approving the the street change for our former Mayor Pro Tem Skip Jenkins and Eddie Brown. I want to thank SCDOT and Lexington County Council for working with us to get this done. And it's just such an amazing blessing to have a good relationship with them to get this done, to honor them both. I'm very excited for this. I rode down the street. Every time I go down that street, I see people walking on it. There's just so much joy and excitement. I've spoken to numerous residents that live on Lee Street or around, and some of them are in their 60s or late 50s, and they just remember when that road was gravel, when it got first paved, and nothing's happened since. So they are very excited. And so, Mike, whenever the signs come in, and because I know a little bit more work just has to be done in regards to the signage and how people are going to get mail and stuff like that. Whenever that's finished, I really would love for our city to do a nice unveiling for Skip and the Eddie Brown family, for us to celebrate them and their dedication to our beautiful city. So I'm just very, very excited that this could be done in their honor. So I just really thank you, Mayor, and everyone.
Thank you. Just a couple of quick things on that note before we leave it. Let's make sure our lobbyist is helping with the opportunity zones. Hopefully they're doing that without us asking, but I just would like that to be confirmed. And then, on the thought process behind the opportunity zones, along with the brownfields, I'd love for us to go back and look at what the prior council had asked for, looking at the abandoned buildings ordinance, and bring that to council to see what they would like to do with that item. Other council?
I just wanted to point out that the communication companies have been working on Knox Abbott Drive to replace the old cables to replace the cables from the old poles to the new poles. So that area should be looking a little bit better over the next couple weeks. And also, we're excited about George Roberts opening hopefully later this month. And just FYI, they are hiring as well. So some positive things in District 1.
Awesome, thank you. Any others? I'll just add that Ms. Hopkins was very thankful for you for getting a street light. But that's something she's been working on for 6 years, and finally feels like she has a little bit better lighting and safety. So, thank you. All right, we have executive session for discussion of contractual matters regarding the city's wastewater treatment plant. personnel matter of the city manager's evaluation, discussion of employment, compensation, and contractual matters regarding the city prosecutor and public defender positions, and discussion of contractual matters regarding the public information officer. Is there a motion to go into executive session for said reasons?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, I'll call the question.
Councilmember All,
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Councilmember Rose.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, thank you, so moved. So no action was taken in executive session except to come out of executive session. I believe we have a possible action and follow-up to executive session. The motion reads that I move that council authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement with Synagro related to wastewater treatment services, with the final agreement subject to approval as to form by the city attorney. Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I'll just say thanks to staff for finding great options for us to continue to work efficiently and effectively. I'll call the question.
Councilmember Alm?
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas?
Yes.
Councilmember Rose?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, thank you, so moved. I take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll call the question.
Councilmember Alm?
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas?
Yes.
Councilmember Rose?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, thank you, so moved. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Y'all